This is the Defenders podcast on TV Podcast Industries, and this time we're talking about Marvel's Wonder Man Episode 5, Found Footage.
Come on, man. You know how dangerous it is for me to do that in public.
I know. I'm sorry. The good news is no one saw a thing. Bollocks.
Welcome back, fellow Defenders, to TV Podcast Industries. Right now, we're chatting about Marvel's Wonder Man Episode 5, Found Footage. I'm one of your hosts, the wonderful Chris.
I'm one of your other hosts, Derek.
Hello there, fellow Defenders. I am your third and final host, John. And before we get into it, remember, fellow Defenders, breathe in slowly for a count of 5. 4, 5. Hold for 5. 5. Exhale for a count of 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5 once again. And there you have it. Your frontal lobe is dust.
Box breathing with John Harrison. Fantastic. You know, I realise I don't think I've ever said, and I'm your other host, Derek, in the middle of the two of you before, because I really stumbled over it. I find that really difficult to say. Weird.
See, we're supporting you like a crutch.
Like another crutch.
It's a metaphorical crutch.
Mm-hmm. I had enough crutches.
Yeah.
We are your crutch. Yes, welcome back, fellow Defenders, to Episode 5. We are here for the one and only Wonder Man. We are here for the one and only Trevor Slattery. We are here for powers on display.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yes. Definitely an interesting one that we are going to dive into and dissect like all of those other movie critiques they do in Hollywood, California.
Absolutely. Yes, and if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, a reminder, pop on over to our website at tvpodcastindustries.com. Subscribe over there to the podcast. We've got loads and loads of shows coming out in 2026 that we'll be covering along with Wonder Man. I've put up the schedule for the full year of 2026. A reminder, Chris and John, you need to go and check the schedule to make sure you don't book your holidays when we've got lots on.
Oh, yes.
Go check out the schedule. It's over on TV Podcast Industries. You can also send feedback into us on any of the shows that we cover to feedback at tvpodcastindustries.com, and you can pop on over to our Discord. The link is in the show notes, or to our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/TV Podcast Industries.
Yes, and of course, fellow Defenders and fellow quizzers, the 5th question in our pub quiz for Wonder Man will be coming up later in the podcast.
Yes, but before we get to the pub quiz and go for an old drink, Derek, do you want to give us the episode details with who gave us what, where, when, and how?
Absolutely, yes. Executive producers for the show, of course, are Kevin Feige, Stephen Broussard, Jonathan Schwartz, Louis D'Esposito, Brad Winderbaum, Destin, Cretton, and Andrew Guest. Destin, Cretton, and Andrew Guest are the creators for the show for TV. This episode was directed by Tiffany Johnson. She's directed episode 6 as well, and also directed Poker Face episode 4, Rest in Metal. Excellent. My absolute favourite episode of Poker Face. It's a really, really fun episode. If you haven't watched Poker Face, I'd say check out that episode specifically because it's that good. Really good fun. Where Charlie joins the rock band as a roadie, or as t-shirt girl. Sorry, t-shirt girl. Yes,
merch.
Excellent episode.
So good.
The episode is written by Anayat, Fakhraie, who wrote The Night Agent and worked on Orphan Black Echoes with Christian Ritter.
Very good.
Why am I mentioning Christian Ritter specifically here?
Oh, I don't know. It might be something to do with season 2 of Daredevil.
Yes, it is.
Ooh,
yes,
maybe.
Jessica Jones is returning in just about 6 weeks' time. She'll be in Daredevil season 2.
Will the Purple Man?
Dum.
I don't care. I'd rather have Kristen Ritter back
me
as
too.
Jessica
I want
Jones
both.
on her own.
Sorry, I'm going to be greedy. I want both.
Have both. I'd say he may return, but will probably be in the Jessica Jones rebooted series in the MCU. Maybe that'll be it. But I was so excited to see Kristen Ritter return. That's really cool. But the writer here, Anayat Fakhraie, did work on the series Orphan Black Echoes with Kristen Ritter. So, yes, nice connection there.
Great stuff. John, based on all that great stuff, do you want to tell us what they gave us with your synopsis for this episode?
Sure. Simon and Trevor celebrate their callback at a bar in town, but Simon becomes anxious. Trevor guides him through a breathing exercise while he ignores calls from Agent Cleary, who is pressured to close the case soon. The two are cornered outside the bar by a drug dealer, Patrick Connor, that Trevor owes money to, forcing Simon to use his power to incapacitate him and his henchmen. But after Simon's use of his powers, they spot a boy who has recorded it with his GoPro, and the two give chase to retrieve the footage. In the car, they read a scene sent by Janelle where Trevor's character's sidekick Barnaby betrays Wonderman for a price. They spot the bicycle courier Jaden and follow him into a club. He tells them that he will erase the footage if Simon uses his powers to help him get back his stolen motorbike from a man named Esteban. Arriving at Esteban's house, Esteban tells them that Jaden is lying. Connor and his men return and hold Jaden hostage at gunpoint in exchange for Trevor. Trevor convinces Jaden to give him the footage so he could delete it. With all the commotion, the police arrive and engage in a gunfight with Connor's men. Jaden escapes and reconciles with Esteban. Simon and Trevor flee and learn from Janelle that Kovac wants their callback at his home now.
Yes, excellent.
Very good.
What an episode.
Absolutely.
There's a lot to discuss. So I think we should get straight into it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's interesting, isn't it, though, that this is the shortest episode of the season. It's 26 minutes, I think, including the previously on and the credits at the end of the episode. So, shortest episode, but the tension ramps up so much at the end that so much feels like it's going on. Really, really good.
Oh, definitely. This, to me, is a phenomenal episode. I absolutely just loved every moment of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This will be one of my favorites, and we're going to discuss why with our top 3 takes.
Quiet on set. Take 1. Action.
So, gentlemen, let's discuss take 1. The drug deal gone bad, because for me, this was such a great... Okay, I'm the powers guy. I love the superhero elements. I really enjoy seeing Spider-Man swing and Iron Man fly and Cap throw a shield.
Absolutely. And punch Nazis in the face. Yes.
Exactly. And Nick Fury be Nick Fury.
Being alive for a very long time.
There you go.
Remember,
exactly.
Cap got frozen in ice, and Nick Fury was fighting in the war with him and was still alive when he came back. So that's how old Nick Fury is.
Sure. He's not an LMD.
Okay, but not in the MCU. Yeah, you're right.
Not in the MCU. But anyway, I enjoyed this for a multitude of things. It is really just a power showcase, but it's a well done, in-universe, in-series, well-done version of a power showcase.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing I enjoyed about it, which is you get to see how Simon can kind of use his power set, or whatever we're thinking it might be to do. And then, but we also just get to see a kind of very fun interaction, because this is all about good old Trev owing a load of men for a lot of blow back in the 70s.
Oh, back in the 70s. I think it's only 13 years ago, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Back around the time of Iron Man 3, right? I think I worked this out, didn't I, John, while we were sitting on the couch, that Trev keeps saying over and over again, I've been sober now for 13 years. And all that is Iron Man 3 happened in 2013. It's now 2026. So they're just saying, since Iron Man 3, since you saw him at his absolute worst, full of coke and surrounded by hookers, he hasn't had a drink since then, partly because, well, he was in prison and then he was in a pocket universe and was captured by the real Mandarin, right? So he didn't really have access to much alcohol and drugs. But yes, our take number 1 is the drug deal gone bad. It's this guy Patrick Connor who comes into the pub where Trevor and Simon are celebrating, sort of, buys a drink for Trevor, and Trevor thinks he's a guy that he did an off-Broadway play with a couple of years ago. Oh, just hilarious.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is really good. I mean, I think because it starts off with just that kind of usual setup, doesn't it? You've got Trevor trying to calm down Simon, who's overthinking everything. He's getting stressed.
Yeah.
I like you say, the power set, we kind of get a repeat bit of power set here with the rippling in the whiskey, a bit Jurassic Park-esque, but it's kind of like, it then just suddenly goes into this, and someone gets, it's a bar, and someone gets them another drink, and it's like, well, who is this person? Because Simon doesn't know him, clearly, and Trevor's trying to sort of work things out, and you have Patrick Connor say, well, you don't remember me, and I love, just this, it's almost like gap filling from Trevor. Well, was it Hurly Burly, an American Buffalo? And I just love the cut here in the edit, and it cuts to the right hook of Patrick Connor hitting Trevor. And it's so really well conceived. Yeah. But it's just timed perfectly by Trevor, Patrick, the cut, the director, everything. Yeah. And you see Trevor kind of getting beaten up in front of Simon, and it's just so good. Even I think after he's used his powers to kind of rescue Trevor, Simon's like, I really did want to do this. And Trevor's just like, I'm really glad you did. So all of it is just absolutely pitch perfect to me.
Absolutely, yeah. And we use the quote at the beginning because the timing of the of where Simon's saying, I don't want to do this, I could get in real trouble here. Trevor going, don't worry about it, nobody saw anything, and then you just hear the bicycle bell going. Just a great comedy timing. Yes, really, really good fun. And you're right, Chris. We don't really understand Simon's powers at all here. We know he's powerful. We know he's strong. He can destroy things. We know his eyes turn purple when he gets stressed and starts to get worked up into this power set. But there's even a joke about it when they go and try to chase down the bicycle courier. Here's Trevor going, do you have super speed? And he goes, no, I'm going to get my car. And then he goes, but do you have super speed? So he's trying to work out what his powers are, but I really like that they're playing with that as well.
Yeah. The bike bell was just like cherry on top.
Absolutely.
So good.
Slight aside, do you think we're going to get an origin flashback? Because we've already had one flashback scene. Because a lot of these shows do a flashback episode, flashback scene.
Yeah.
So we had one with the doorman. But do you think we're going to get like Simon falling into a vat of purple goo or something like that?
Paranzebo comes out and injects him with powers. Yeah.
It's just it's an interesting one because I'm just like, it's unusual for like any of our shows to just not kind of give some kind of explanation for the likes of us who kind of go, I want to know how they got them.
It feels like as a character, Simon's very closed off and doesn't talk to anybody about this. So there may be a moment where he actually fully unloads his story with Trevor as they get closer and closer. So I think that might be the way that they'll do it. He'll finally tell him, when I was a kid, such and such happened to me, and ever since then I've had to keep this secret. Maybe that's the way they'll do it. Because the doorman origin episode is really just about the clause in all contracts in Hollywood. It's something that serves this struggling actor and why he wants to keep his powers hidden, which is, again, the basis of this entire episode. If we didn't have the doorman last episode, we wouldn't realize why this is so important to Simon that he chases down this person that could have videoed him using his superpowers. If we didn't have that real focus on the doorman clause last episode, we wouldn't need this here. So I don't know whether they'll do a flashback episode, giving the full explanation. So
just because they did include Roxanne as part of that doorman kind of origin, I'm wondering if Roxanne is involved here,
out creating superheroes all over LA. Yeah, could be
something silly like that, or like we find out, like, we via another flashback we see Simon going to the same nightclub as the doorman. Or like he was a barman there for a brief period or something connecting it. It was just because I find it so interesting to see his power set here, because it is similar but somewhat different than the comic books, and it's very much how I kind of... I'd be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah. Although we do know that Simon's had his powers since he was a kid, right? Because we know about the kitchen explosion where he came out safe from that explosion, right? We don't know whether other powers have developed. We know he's super strong and he can fight from this episode. But yeah, it's all kind of vague, isn't it? It's all kind of in the background, and it's all more about these two characters and their relationship. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like a traditional MCU show that we're going to get the flashback to how it all started.
And I think at the end of the day, that would be 2 flashback episodes. I mean, in a sense, they've given Doorman his flashback episode and his origin story. I think the fact that Wonder Man is a lesser known character, I think it becomes less important about the skill set and how he acquires it rather than just showing the skill set. And I think, again, maybe it's just about the presentism, I guess, of what's happening in this. And that's all they're really kind of going to show, really, unless it's just in dialogue. And I think, I mean, the thing that strikes me actually from this fight is there is an element of control that he has on his powers, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. I mean, even in the bar, we see him kind of getting worked up and the ripple. Now he's kind of pulled back with the box breathing and so on from Trevor. But out there, he kind of utilizes his powers purposefully to stop them from attacking his friend. Yeah. So there's an element of control that he's got on the power.
Well, yeah.
It's not like American Chavez, say, from Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting that.
And we see all of Patrick Connor's men come back at the end of the episode, so he hasn't killed anybody either, so he does have some control over these powers, right? Remember, he destroyed a marble top in his mom's house. He probably could have killed one of Patrick Connor's men if he didn't have some control. So I wonder, maybe there's going to be a moment sometime later in the show where he has to draw back on the powers that he has. He has to think about the powers that he has so he can use them in the upcoming movie or in the audition that's coming up. Maybe something like that might be it. But yeah, really love this moment though. This reveal of the powers in the drug deal gone bad. Anything else on our take number 1?
Nothing from my side.
No, nothing from me. I think we should get into our second take.
Take 2. Action.
So we move from the alleyway to the Hollywood car chase. You're a unique take on the Hollywood car chase.
Well, is there anything more Hollywood? We have him driving on the path or the sidewalk, I guess, to catch up with the bicycle courier. He's going through downtown traffic in LA, in Hollywood. But he's also reading sides, those kind of temp scripts that they're getting for their follow-up audition. They're reading those in the car while they're driving on the sidewalk, while they're trying to catch up with this bike courier. Like, could it really be any more Hollywood than that?
Absolutely. But even the fact that it, forebodes the potential betrayal of Trevor to Simon. Yeah. So I like the fact that it's like going, that scene's intense. And so it's kind of like, life imitates art imitates life kind of thing in that moment. But
no, the funny part about that is actually Trevor saying, "Oh, the scene that I'm reading right here is intense," and Simon going, "You think that's intense? And look what we've just done in Hollywood."
Exactly. But I mean, the car chase is great because it's like they're chasing this guy. You can hear the bell occasionally to give that point of reference again, which is it's a nice carry on from the initial gag. Yeah. But I love that they're chasing him along the sidewalk. They kind of lose him. And then it's like Simon's kind of saying, put the scripts down, put the sides down, start looking for him. And he's looking around and he goes, I found him just from looking around. It's just absolutely quality.
Who would have thought looking around works?
Exactly. It was so funny.
I really wish we had got, that typical, we're going to drive through 2 guys moving a sheet of glass.
Absolutely. Yeah,
exactly.
I was expecting, or at least some version of that gag.
Yeah.
Or just like, like someone to run into plexiglass or just something. But either way, it was a fun chase. But like, yes, I found him just looking around. Just such a good. It's very much why I really enjoy this back and forth of this like dynamic duo kind of take between the two.
Yeah.
It is just so fun.
I think it's just, the job of the writers for the show trying to find funny moments in things that you've seen so many times before. What you were mentioning there, Chris, that's kind of what they did in 21 Jump Street, right? That was that was finding every single joke you could possibly find in seeing the same type of car chases. Here, the car chases happening in Hollywood, which is something we actually haven't seen on screen for such a long time because most of them are filmed in Vancouver, right? So here they look like they're going down the streets of Hollywood, and the joke is they're in the middle of the night, but all the traffic is absolutely awful. How could they possibly be able to do a high-speed car chase when there's so much traffic around? So they have that little joke, and then he drives on the sidewalk, and then you actually find out the way they're catching up with the cyclist is he wants them to catch up with him. So for when you're watching it the first time, you're going, hang on a second, how the hell is this bicycle courier not getting away from them when they're caught up in traffic? But actually, he's stopping every couple of minutes to let them catch up with him because he wants to blackmail them effectively for this.
Yeah, what's it? Simon is like, it's your degenerative past that got us into this.
Yes.
And he's like, the operative word is past, and I'm sorry. It's just really good.
It's great.
Like there's so many nice little lines, and even in the fact that he says about Jaden, oh, you're trying to hustle, hustle us. It's that. Because he's done a lot of hustling as well himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's like, I love that he kind of sees and identifies immediately what Jaden is, probably because of himself, and is quick to take the deal. Yes, we'll find Esteban, in order to prevent this footage from being sort of released onto YouTube and stuff. So I also like that the car chase as well becomes the foot chase like you would see in the movies as well. But this kind of is like, well, where's he gone? Like they're not just running around all these corridors knowing exactly where he's going. Like, oh, well, where is he? And they kind of like, someone comes out the door. Oh, well, maybe.
Oh, there's a bar behind that
bar
wall.
Here. Okay, can. And so they go in and it's just kind of interesting to see how
Absolutely.
they kind of just take that riff, really, I think.
I love that Trevor goes, we must remember this place for a different night. This hidden cool bar. That must be how people in LA are able to go out for nights out, because it must be so expensive to go to anywhere on the strip or anywhere famous in LA. So the normal people that need to go out for nights out must have more hidden places to go to.
I guess so, yeah.
All the speakeasies in the world.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe that's where the famous people go to the speakeasies, and the not rich people who are waiters go into
dive bars.
Regular places. Dive bars. Yeah. It's probably
Gotta
like
love
4
dive
or
bars.
5 different tiers of places in LA. But yeah, really like the car chase. I think that's a great fun scene as well in this episode.
Definitely.
I also just like once they catch up with him. Like that whole aspect is just, it's fun. It's just like, they don't understand. It's like, well, we'll get you deleted. Can it be uploaded? Does that work? Like, neither of them are techie. So you don't, like, it's not like, so they both are just relying, and then they're like, I think he's lying. I don't know, though.
Yeah, and it's about 7 or 8 minutes since the incident happened, and he's apparently done this whole amazing technical job of preloading this to go live at 9 a.m. If he doesn't get to shut it down, it just feels like the plot of Speed 5 or something. Yeah. Really good, really good.
Well, this perfectly leads us on to our take number 3.
Gonna go one last time. Take 3. Action.
So, for the last time, let's discuss Jaden and Esteban, the chamoy dudes themselves, and how Jaden will delete this footage. He'll get rid of it all, and especially of Simon using his powers. If Simon and our good friend Trev will go and get back Jaden's bike.
his motorbike.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's an interesting. It's funny because again, this is the subversion of a lot of this show runs on, which we go here and we're like, oh my god, they're drug dealers. Like, okay, it makes some sense. Like, Esteban, he's going to be the hood rat. He's going to be like your stereotypical Latin American drug dealer.
Even
And
Miss
then
Gonzalez, who's kind of the nosy neighbour, sort
Yeah.
of looking out, and you have Esteban kind of saying, "We're not a drug den, Mrs. Gonzalez."
We're making sweets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
It's excellent.
And that's the best part. Is just when he was like, well, try our sweets. I even thought it was going to be like, they're laced in gummies or something. Like, no, it's
Exactly, like edibles or something
Yeah.
like that. I thought it was going to be something.
But no, just plain fashion good old sweets.
Well, absolutely, and that's where our take 3 comes in. Jaden and Esteban, the Chamoy dudes. That's their name when they were working together, right? So, yeah, but the subversion starts in the initial discussion between Jaden and Simon and Trevor, because here we have our brand new hero in the MCU. Everybody's been wondering about Wonder Man, what powers he has, what powers does Simon Williams have in the TV show that are different from the comic books. He showed them off in this initial fight, and the first person that's seen them in this MCU blackmails him and tries to get him to use his powers to beat up his former mate to steal his motorbike. So completely different to anything we've seen in any of the MCU shows or any of the MCU movies. He's not going out to fight bad guys after revealing his powers. He has some kid who's videoed him telling him he has to use his powers to threaten a former friend. This may have been something that might have appeared in She-Hulk. If I'm right, I think there was somebody that was trying to use She-Hulk's powers to their advantage as well. But yeah, it's that kind of difference in the MCU here.
And it's fun because it's just, you expect them to say no.
Yeah, exactly.
You expect the hero of your show and the leads to go, we're not going to go beat them. Nope. They hop in the car and within lickety split, they're there and they're like, okay, where's the bike? Give us the bike.
Well, it's that whole notion that actually Simon doesn't want to be a superhero. In fact, he wants to be anything but. Because even, despite having seen all this, the thing that he puts on, the power that he looks to do, is effectively using Law and Order season 14. Can I get a witness? You have Trevor who's going, well, I love the police lingo that you're coming out with, you know, and it's all coming from an audition that he's done and a show that he's done. So I
love that Simon's going, I don't have that much lingo, I only have a couple of lines to draw on, but it should be enough to get me in the door. And he stands there in front of the door, he starts with his lines, and then the woman who opened the door goes, hey Esteban, the Mandarin just showed up
exactly.
So Trevor completely busts the whole thing.
For me,
brilliant.
like, this is actually, I know we're not yet a month into 2026, but I have a feeling for myself personally, this kind of final third act of this episode will be one of my favorite bits of television because it's almost like a show within a show with the chaos that just transpires here, where you have Patrick Connor showing up again. You have actually ultimately this whole different tale that it's the falling out of bros. And then you just have you've got the letterbox scene, which is frenetic.
That felt like Tarantino.
Yeah, it was absolutely frenetic. I mean, everything that's happening there, the police arrive. That you've got Trevor asking to get the GoPro from Jaden, who's got a gun to his head, purely to delete the footage. Esteban and Jaden started having a makeup moment through the letterbox. They ultimately save Jaden. The police fire. Janelle calls everything. There's just like all this stuff going on, and but ultimately, I just thought it was fantastically done. I can't really describe it. It just was it was absolutely perfect to me how it was set up and done at that letterbox. And I've just kind of literally bulleted everything. And that's about it, really. It just went really well. And like Esteban and his girlfriend and Jaden, ultimately, they've become really I found kind of, convincing roles, even though they've just been on the episode for literally 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were great.
They were
really,
superb.
really good. Yeah.
And, ultimately you have, them both thinking that they're going into a drug den, but ultimately it's a sweetie shop. And it ends off with this absolute chaos going on at the letterbox. And I just love the fact that in all of it, you get the Janelle having the call to say, Von Kovac's doing the callback now.
Yeah.
And I love that when she calls, Simon's going, it's not really a good time. Don't you dare hang up on me. I've been trying to get you. You need to take this call right now. And he takes it, of course, because acting is the most important thing for him. As you said, Chris, if this was another show and it's the superhero, they would have said, no, this is Simon Williams, actor, who is about to get the biggest part of his life, he hopes. So everything is above that, even if he has to blackmail some kid to get a motorbike back for somebody else and delete this footage. That's the most important thing for him. So he is going to take this phone call when there's police outside the door pointing a gun at somebody.
But they start making a run for it to go,
we gotta go now.
To the callback as the police are there and you hear the gunshots. So it looks like they're running or fleeing from the scene of a shootout.
Yeah.
And then I love the fact that you have Trevor getting on the wrong side of the car because he thinks he's in the UK.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm on the wrong side.
So he has to drive.
Yes.
He gets into the driver's seat.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
And it's such a quick throwaway line that I'm like, do you think they actually did that on purpose? Do you think it was an actual mistake?
Yeah.
It was very good.
Yeah.
So good.
Love that idea.
But that then leads us to the end of the episode, gents. Does anyone have any more notes, either about this section or any of the previous acts? Takes?
Yeah, I have a note here. One I absolutely love is just that Trevor gets Esteban's name wrong every single time he says it. And he says it about 6 times. I don't know why. He gets it wrong every time, and Simon gets it right from the minute they arrive there. But for some reason, Trevor can't get his name right. Very funny. And the other thing is, at the beginning of the episode, when Trevor's getting phone calls from Agent Cleary and ignoring them, he tells Simon he's getting called from the pocket dimension that he used to live in, which is a reference to Shang-Chi. Our only reference, I think, so far this season about where he was for the last 5 or 6 years, right? So I thought that was quite fun.
More fun is that he got a flight back from the pocket dimension,
Well, yeah.
I Shang-Chi Air. Maybe. His sister's very, very wealthy. It's true. It's true.
Now, as the leader of the
Yes,
Ten
they
Rings,
made it out of the pocket dimension,
Yes.
so he must have gone with them.
Yeah.
Well, we hope. What about yourself, John? Any notes?
No notes for me for this one.
Well, then, it pains me to say this, because it means we have to wrap up the episode. But, Derek, do you defend this episode of Wonder Man, episode 5?
I absolutely defend this episode. Loved it. This was one of the ones that I found really weird when I was going through the lineup of episodes. It stood out being the shortest episode, and especially after the break we had last episode with the Doorman being a black and white episode without our major characters, then coming on to this one, which was going to be short. I went into it going, but come on, we got to see, what's going to happen next. We need a big moment. And they gave us everything. They gave us a car chase. They gave us the big, the drug deal gone bad, the return of someone that Trevor had wronged in the past. And we have this big standoff, Tarantino-esque scene at the end of the episode. So it's such a great job on this episode. It made me laugh and made me really interested in the characters. And one of the things that's starting to come out a little bit as the episodes go on, the story of the Wonder Man character and this movie, I think, is really starting to play out in the background a little bit. The movie Wonder Man that Simon wanted to be a part of, the movie was about 2 best friends, him and Barnabas. We see the lines come in, the sides come in from Janelle, which show that Barnabas is going to turn on Wonder Man in the movie. We also hear about Jaden and Esteban being best friends and Jaden turning on Esteban. And Esteban's explanation was he was great until Jaden got greedy. Just be careful who you partner up with. So there's going to be a fracture in the relationship with Simon and Trevor coming up. And I think they're laying the seeds of that throughout what's going on in this episode. I think it's been a really good way to do it. And it's all just in the background. It's not really focused on, but I like that that's that that's there and it's present, because they can't be friends forever, because we know Trevor's working for the DODC, right?
Yeah.
So when Simon finds out about that, that's not going to be good, right?
No, not at all.
But loved this episode. This is a great episode. How about yourself, Chris?
I absolutely adored this one. This is my favorite episode of the series to date.
Mm-hmm.
It is everything you've mentioned already, which is, it is, while both the shortest, it's the most packed. It has a flavor of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And also, every single one of our listeners who has listened to many of our shows is going to roll their eyes in 3, 2, 1. It very much is subverting some of those themes that we've seen before.
Uh-huh.
It's playing on a trope of, hey, your hero has just shown his powers off for the first time, or truly shown his powers off as a hero. And rather than step into the light and kind of be that kind of protector and kind of very much do that superhero kind of Superman piece, he tries to shrink back to the shadow. He doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want to be found. So it's subversion. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the car chase, it's a joke because you can't do a car chase in LA because of traffic. But so it's just kind of it's poking fun while also just kind of being very grounded and real, as if this is Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it's like. This is your movie studio kind of show, except it's in the MCU.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just really enjoy where it leads us and where it ends going into this next episode. So completely defend this episode.
Fantastic. I was sure Chris was going to say they zigged when I thought they were going to zag. Didn't you think that?
Yes, I did. I did.
I'm saying, I zigged.
Well, you subverted yourself.
Yes.
I know.
You zagged when I thought you were going to zig, Chris.
Exactly. John, what do you think of this episode? And more importantly, do you defend this episode?
Oh, I absolutely defend this episode of Wonder Man. I give this 5 Chamoy Candy Bros out of 5. Like you, Chris, this is my favourite episode so far on Wonder Man. And to be honest, it's up there with pretty much most of the others as well. But there's just something in this that is kind of, like I say, it's subversive, but it's a little bit transcendent. It just the way it treats these two going on an all-caper sort of action. You know, it's like Lethal Weapon, or Buddy Cops, you know, all this kind of thing. You have the car chase, you have the foot chase that kind of descends into, well, where do you go?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so good.
Yep. And all because they went out for a drink to celebrate.
Exactly.
That's it.
Like you say, you get to see his powers and you see some element of control and you're like going, oh, okay, what more can he do here? Certainly given, you know, the intrigue or the interest, I should say, that Damage Control have got on him. And, I think for me, just the, you know, some really good edits here with the hurly-burly, off Broadway play and an American Buffalo, just then with an edit right into a sort of a right hook from Patrick to Trevor.
I don't remember you, but I wish I
the
did.
Little ding-a-ling of the bell. Again, just perfect timing for me. And you have this fantastic scene at the letterbox where it's tense, it's frenetic. You've got someone's life in the balance. You have friends' betrayal, like you say, sort of mirroring, foreboding what is ultimately unlikely to happen between Trevor and Simon, but this time between Esteban and Jaden. You have the police called. You have the rescue of the GoPro and the deleting of the footage, all like very kind of, doesn't sound like much, but it is just done so well, all at the letterbox of Esteban's candy factory and sweetie shop. It's so good. And then, you know, as they're fleeing the scene where gunshots are being fired, it is actually so that they can get to Von Kovacs on time because the callback has been brought forward. So to me, absolutely fantastic. I do feel, I'm going to be thinking this is one of my favourite episodes of the year already.
Fantastic.
So
let's say at least in the last 12 months, and then when we get to the end of the year.
No, because last year was so good as well.
Really good,
There's some really good stuff in a different way, but this is tight writing, acting, editing, directing, you name it. It's just really, really good. So yeah, absolutely defend this episode. Can't wait to hear the thoughts of our fellow defenders about this one. And yes, 5 Chamoy Candy Bros out of 5.
Fantastic.
Great stuff. So, gents, think about time. With all that said and done, we head back to the pub ourselves. I'm thinking a speakeasy. We'll knock on a few doors, pull a few levers, try and get into a cupboard, but it'll probably end up just being Narnia. But beyond that, let's go and get a
It'll
drink.
probably end off being a cupboard.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we subvert.
Don't say the C word.
Yeah.
What's it?
Let's go and have a bit of a pub quiz.
Yes, indeed. Fellow defenders, fellow quizzers, we are heading to the pub for maybe an alcoholic Bloody Mary or maybe a non-alcoholic Bloody Mary a la Trevor Slattery. But it is episode 5, so of course we are on to question 5. And here we go. When Trevor has one of Esteban's candies, he says it's like when Stevie Nicks had Coke blown up her bunghole. But what sweet, spicy and sour candy treat does Esteban give Trevor?
Fantastic.
I could have shortened that question down, couldn't I, actually? Yes.
You could have, but
I
it's
didn't.
such a great
Such a great line. I thought we'd bring it into the pub quiz.
Absolutely. Do you want to give the question one more time, John?
I certainly do. Possibly like how Stevie Nicks said, once again, please.
One more go.
When Trevor has one of Esteban's candies, he says it's like when Stevie Nicks had Coke blown up her bunghole. But what sweet, spicy and sour candy treat does Esteban give Trevor?
Fantastic. That's the 5th question of 8 questions at the end of the season. Put all the correct answers together. Email us to feedback@tvpodcastindustries.com and you could be in with a chance of getting your hands on some Wonderman goodies.
Great stuff.
That's the same email address you can use if you want to share your feedback with us about any of the episodes of Wonderman. And you can also pop on over to our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/TV Podcast Industries, or pop over to our Discord server. The link is in the show notes, or just search TV Podcast Industries on Discord and you should find us in there.
Yes. But speaking of that feedback, let's jump over and hear what our fellow defenders have to say about this. So over on Facebook, we have a piece of feedback from a mathematician who had this to say. Great to see the boys back in for this episode. The story feels like it's just drifting along to me currently. I've stopped trying to figure out where it's going and I'm now just enjoying the two leads and how they have this amazing chemistry. Like in football, when two different styles of midfielders complement each other perfectly and you can clearly see that perfect balance. They have their callback to Kovac, played by the guy who was the Barovia leader from last year's Superman. So the story has moved on a bit. But to me, it's all about Trevor and Simon, and that's more than enough. P.S. Anybody remember that daft 90s duo off Saturday morning TV?
Fantastic mathematician. I absolutely do, and every single time I've written down Trevor and Simon back to back, I just think of those two. They were,
oh God,
yes, there were two comedy, a comedy duo. Yeah,
Sarah Green.
No, Trev and Simon. They were. Yeah. I think they might have been on BBC on Saturday mornings. But I remember them well, and I was saying it the other day, and nobody had any idea what I was talking about.
As soon as you say it, it's like it's come flooding back.
I think I might have.
Now I've just got Chuckle Brothers in as well.
They're not the same thing. I might have to reverse them from now on. I might have to say Simon and Trevor, because every time I say Trevor and Simon, I just think of the two comedians.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really good. And I think, mathematician, you made Chris slip up a bit there with that talk of midfielders.
Yes. I was like, because I didn't understand what he was talking about.
Chris
he
was like,
didn't say soccer.
Exactly. Chris is like, does he mean the quarterback and the kicker?
Yeah.
Working
so
in
confuzzled.
perfect unison.
That's so good.
All right. We're still in our American football ways because of Super Bowl just last weekend. So we still got that in our mind. So so that's probably what it is.
But totally with you, mathematician. It is all about Trevor and Simon. It's about their story, and it's about, I think, being with them on this journey to Wonder Man.
But also, unlike most of the shows that we have, where there's a start point and a real end point for the show, this does feel like that half-hour TV show where they go, right, what do you want to do with Trevor and Simon this week? As I said, the episode started with the two of them going for a drink to celebrate their callback, and because of Trevor's history, then they go in this wild journey and they get to the callback by the end of the episode.
Exactly.
But the wild journey is because of these two characters. So the writer's just having fun with these two characters in another situation. So standard sitcom stuff, right? It's great. Really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, they could have called this Trev and Simon's Excellent Adventure. Or Bogus Adventure.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Yes, or Simon and Trevor's,
Yes.
so they don't get sued.
Yes. Or just look, anything that rips off Bill and Ted, it's a good thing.
There you go. Great stuff. Thanks so much, Mathematician, for your thoughts.
Yeah, great stuff. Thanks, mathematician.
Yes, thank you, Mathematician.
And we're back with our extra slice of feedback for this week. And John's joining me for this one because he's here. John.
I certainly am. Hello.
Excellent to have you.
Yes, thank you.
Let's get into our feedback section.
Indeed. Let us kick off with our Discord feedback. Dr. Bob Phillips says, from film noir to French farce, even with multiple doors and getting in the wrong side of the bed, car, really enjoyed this leap sideways into the ridiculous style of comedy that I haven't watched for years, and the tiniest inching forward of the plot as well, with the thickly layered et tu Brute references. Absolutely, Dr. Bob. This is just, for me, a really good episode. And it's kind of interesting that you're saying, like, it's the farcical element of it, almost, Inspector Clouseau type, approach to it, which of course is highlighted by the detectives as they go to Esteban,
Absolutely.
For the gummy bear factory.
Yeah.
Which, all the neighbours at least think is a big cocaine factory.
A big drug den of some sort.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, actually, that's a great description of it. A farce, because that is always that thing where it starts out at a level, and then the intensity builds and builds and builds, and it gets funnier and funnier as it goes along. And we definitely felt that with this pretty short episode, but a fun trip with the two characters.
Yeah,
so great stuff.
Definitely. Great stuff. Thanks, Dr. Bob, for the feedback.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dr. Bob. We also got an email in from Coffee and Vodka on this one. He says, greetings, fellow escalating defenders. Did anyone else get retro whiplash from the 80s buddy cop vibes thrown off by this, or just me? Whatever the case, this much action packed into 20 minutes makes it seem closer to 5. It would be nitpicky to say it should have been tacked on to the next episode, but there it is. Beyond this, it was sheer fun and a nice reference to the Mandarin days of excessive indulgence. More, please. 4.5 habanero 8 balls. No go-go pros and drug day afternoons out of 5. Peace and take care. Coffee and Vodka.
Great. Thanks, Coffee and Vodka. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's so good. Really good fun. I mean, I think you're right. It's kind of, where do you place this? And I'm really pleased that the writers, the showrunner, the director decided that this is a standalone episode, because I think, in a sense, it is about exploring these two characters as much as the underlying references with damage control, with them then both careering towards betrayal. I think this is just another great, buddy cop moment. The just friends finding their groove. It's kind of like, this is the halcyon days of their friendship. It can't get any better. They're on to go to Von Kovac's mansion. They've got the part, or at least the callback. They're on this roll, they just need to keep that secret. Exactly. And so, inched forward, but bounded in such sheer fun, I think, as you say.
Absolutely. And yeah, it does remind you of all those great 80s buddy cop movies like Lethal Weapon or 48 Hours.
Yeah.
Of course, Beverly Hills Cop would be the touch here because they're in Beverly Hills and doing chases through the city of Beverly Hills. I actually found out afterwards, we were right, that the chase scene that happens on Hollywood Boulevard was filmed there, and apparently it's very, very difficult to get permission to film there because of how bad the traffic is. So they incorporated the traffic into the joke of the scene. It was always going to be there, but the fact they were able to film it on a very busy street in Hollywood is adds to the joke, I guess.
Excellent.
Which I love. Excellent
Great stuff.
Thanks, Coffee Vodka.
Thanks, Coffee and Vodka. Also, then over to our Facebook feedback. And Heather Wallace says, I so enjoyed Trevor constantly pointing out how untrustworthy Jaden was, especially since he is so slippery himself. Also loved his quick alliance with the gang making sweets. For a scene that had angry drug dealers and gunshots, it was surprisingly wholesome. Can't agree with you more, Heather, around that. Yeah, it was very wholesome.
And I love, there's a great moment when Trevor points out that Jaden's untrustworthy and Simon goes, yeah, I know, but we have to because he's the one that's got the blackmailing. We're not choosing sides between these two in their friendship battle. We have to do what Jaden says so I can get the GoPro back, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we know he's untrustworthy because he recorded this and is telling us he's uploading it to the internet, but he's a blackmailer.
But it's wholesome for Jaden, for Esteban, for Trevor, and for Simon as well. It's just a really, I think I called it the letterbox scene. Just so much packed into that, and
Absolutely.
I think wholesome is just another one of those things that sort of gets posted through that letterbox.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Thanks, Heather. Finally, Harvey Locust says, hey guys, I've been enjoying your coverage of the show and wanted to make a correction that you've referenced twice now. Werewolf by Night is not a Marvel Spotlight. Werewolf by Night was a Marvel Studios special presentation along with the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special and the upcoming Punisher. The specials are like one-shot comics. The only other spotlight was Echo. I'm not exactly sure what makes them spotlights other than dropping all the episodes at once. Thanks for that, Harvey. Yeah, I think we just made the off-the-cuff comment on the first day when we recorded. We weren't even really thinking about it when Chris said that it came up at Marvel Spotlight. We went, oh, of course it did. Yeah, it's different from usual that it would be a Marvel Spotlight. But I did have a look, and I actually posted this in response to Harvey on the Facebook group, but there's an actual comment about it from Brad Winderbaum about the Marvel Spotlight, which has been often misinterpreted by people commenting on what Marvel Spotlights are. He doesn't say they're throwaway things that nobody has to watch. It's the other way around. What he says is they want to make sure in a Marvel Spotlight that you don't have to go off and watch 5 different movies or 25 different movies or now 38 different movies in order to enjoy the Marvel Spotlights. He says if they are going to reference things in the MCU in a Marvel Spotlight, they will always put enough information in the episode that's there so that you don't have to go off and find that information somewhere else. Whereas traditionally with the Marvel TV shows that tie into the movies, they will put in references that you should know and you should be going and seeking out, you know, where did Loki come from? Why has he been sent back in time? That kind of stuff. You will have to go out and find that yourself. With the Marvel Spotlight, he says these are just self-contained things that they will give you all the information you need to enjoy them rather than you having to go out and do lots of research. So that's the only thing he said.
Great stuff. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, so excellent stuff. Thanks, Harvey.
Yeah, thanks, Harvey.
Yeah, great to hear from you and glad you've been enjoying the coverage so far as well. Great stuff. Thanks, everybody. And thanks, John, for joining me for the special insert for feedback. John doesn't know why I'm saying that. It's because for the last couple of weeks, I've been on my own for these little inserts. So I've been moaning about the fact that people are just hearing my opinion about their feedback. And I love having the other voice here, of course. My wonderful hubby who knows much more about this stuff than I do.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to be here.
And you'll be back, of course, for the 6th episode as well.
Indeed, I will.
And thank you everyone for your feedback for this episode. With that, we are said and we are done. Gentlemen, it is a wrap for episode 5 and our discussion on it. So, our fellow defenders, don't forget you can rate and like and review our beautiful little podcast all over the shop, on Spotify, on Apple, on anywhere you are listening to our dulcet tones in your ear holes. But don't forget to share the podcast, because sharing the podcast is what, gentlemen? It is sharing the love. Yes.
Just like chamoy candies, pass it around.
Exactly. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back next time for episode 6, Callback.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be getting a call back? Yes, you will. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes, thank you so much, fellow defenders, for joining us for episode 5 of Wonder Man. Until the next one, keep watching, keep listening, and of course, keep defending. Bye, my lovelies.
Bye.
Bye.
Quiet on set. Like another
It's
crutch.
a metaphorical crutch.
Mm-hmm. I had enough crutches.
Yeah.
We are your crutch.
Yes.
You keep look. At least for the last few 20 years plus, you've been a tripod, and now you've got 5.
Oh, yeah.
Now you've got 5 arms.
That's why I married him.
Wow, that's an interesting description of me. But welcome back, fellow defenders, to Wonder Man episode 5.
Indeedy.
Quiet on set. Take 2. Action. I should get you all to record versions of that, so it's not just my voice.
Nah, you are our director.
Yes.
Quiet on set.
To all our fellow defenders, don't forget to write a review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you are listening to these, and give us the ratings and give us the reviews and share the podcast, because much like those two sweet brothers who were kind of in the candy corporation together, you need to share the podcast, because it is about sharing the
Love.
yes.
It went a little weird.
Love.
It went a little weird, Chris.
I know.
Do you want to try that just a little bit better? Do you want to try that
so
again,
tired.
just better?
Yeah.
What did the brothers do?
It's like the brothers who shared their love. One of them has a girlfriend. Sorry.
Shed their candies, maybe?
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Quiet on set.
Keep defending.
Bye.
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 Bye, my lovelies.
Bye, my lovelies.
Bye.
Now I just sound Cornish.
Bye, my lovelies. Oh, God. Right. One more time. Quiet on set.